Here's a case study of someone who's 56, they've just been made redundant and they're looking to either retire early or change their line of work to something that more suits their passions and interests. They've got 50k as a redundancy settlement. They've also got 50k in an emergency cash savings fund. They've got 420,000 in their pension, 20,000 left on their mortgage. Let's look at all the options that are open to them. So first of all, 50,000 as an emergency fund is really good to give them some time to explore all the options that are open to them. It sounds like they've got their finances in order, hopefully with all their pensions in one pot. It's definitely something I recommend doing. You can often get cash back if you transfer to a different provider, such as Interactive Investor. In terms of the redundancy settlement, they can use it to pay off their mortgage to give them peace of mind, and the residual ideally can go into their pension as they can get any income tax back on that money, and also as they're 56 they can draw their pension if they want to. Recommend that they sign up for Skills for Life or Skills for Careers, as it can help them to either grow their own business or to gain new skills in order to change career. Me and Shadrach, an accountant with over 30 years experience, I help people to plan their finances for retirement. In life, there's likely to be more than one thing that you're good at. So you could have a phased career where you're maybe an accountant at the start and then a university lecturer at the end. If you are made redundant, it might be tricky to get a similar job in the same sector, because it might be that other companies are also making people redundant, or you might get like lower pay or have a longer commute, or you might find that some of your past experiences mean you're not really that motivated and that keen at the job interview, so it can take a long time to find similar work. So now the person just has to look at how far their £420,000 will go. Their costs seem to be about £2,500 a month, and there's also a possibility of downsizing their house. If we put a £420,000 pension into a retirement calculator, along with two full state pensions, with both people retiring at 56 on a £2,500 a month expenditure after all taxes, then they can pretty much survive on that. They'll initially draw down quite steeply on their wealth, then the state pensions will kick in, and then finally in the last few years of their life, I'd recommend that they just live off the state pensions so that their wealth can plateau. In terms of sources of income in retirement, they're initially using a personal pension, which is the orange, with the associated tax-free cash in green, and then later on two state pensions kick in, and there's a slight reduction in expenditure later on in order to maintain their wealth. So now let's look at a scenario where there's some initial earned income of £12,000 until the state pension kicks in, and then the house is downsized at age 80. I think that would give them about £8,000 a year to spend after tax between the ages of 67 and 86, which sounds like a much more enjoyable retirement. Here's what their wealth looks like over time with the impact of the house downsize in 2049. And then here's their sources of income over time with the downsizing of the house going to the ISA in 2049. And the added bonus of doing some work in your 50s and 60s is that you've got a purpose in life, you've got maybe work friends that you could make, or you've got all kinds of things that you can explore through the fact that you've got some employment, people that you're serving, you've got a bit of money coming in. The person says they could buy an annuity and that would give them £17,000 a year. You just need to check whether that is indexed for inflation, and also what will really hit this person hard is that yes, if he dies, all that money goes and his wife is left pretty much penniless because all of the assets have now gone. So it's probably not a sensible solution for him. What they could do is maybe in later life look to buy annuities when the rates are a bit better, or maybe buy a term annuity if you need some money to tide you over until your state pension kicks in. You can go to PensionWise for free government advice, but that's going to be restricted to how to best access a pension rather than some of the life planning issues that are raised here. Some people on the Reddit forum have said the person should go to see a financial planner. However, there are some problems with this. First of all, the planner is likely to charge around about £1,500, which is a lot of money, particularly if they then say you don't have enough money to retire. They might also want to try to manage your pension for you and charge 1% of the pension's value, so about £4,200 a year for the rest of your life, in order to invest the money on your behalf. And again, the costs here are prohibitive. There are free resources available, but they tend to be pretty basic, quite time consuming to properly understand, and you don't get anyone to sense check your numbers and what you're trying to do to make sure you're not missing out on some key things that you could do to maybe save tax or make your money go further. Some insights that a financial planner or a financial coach could give you that could really help you on your retirement journey could be the fact that you can put up to £2,880 into a personal pension up to the age of 75, no matter what your earnings are, that you might be able to take a defined benefit pension earlier than you think, and that could be advantageous to you. The order of drawdown of your assets, such as whether to take a pension before an ISA or vice versa, looking at ways to access your pension, such as flexible access drawdown and UFPlus, maybe selling a rental property once you've retired and you've got no earned income. That might lower the capital gains tax bill, and then you could move some money into an ISA. So all of this can be learnt maybe for £1,500 with a financial planner, or actually, I've just said it all for free. So what we've got is called an advice gap, where people want some information and they want some help, but they feel that a financial planner or financial advisor is just too expensive for them, and that the free resources are just too basic. And it's up to financial coaches to fill that gap, providing you're happy they've demonstrated they've got enough knowledge of the UK finance system and of working with people similar to yourself, and then you can inquire from them and hopefully they can help you out for a reasonable price. If financial coaching interests you, go to my website ianshadrack.com, or you can watch this next video, which is all about designing your retirement and how you can make your later years your most enjoyable.